Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again to Hebron. Today, although I probably shouldn't be here because according to the quarantine, I should be at the house. And they're saying they're going to toughen down on people that are leaving their houses. But actually, this is a house too. So we can quarantine here, I guess. So they say they're going to arrest people that don't keep the quarantine, but I don't think we have any problem. I wanted to come today because I wanted to show you Hebron. We've talked so much about Hebron these past 2 weeks, and I wanted to show you a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go up to the house, and I'll be right there. Bye. Very peaceful. Okay, I still got some work to do, so I'll cut off and then I'll show you the rest of the house. Okay, so this is the room. That's the bed. We can get almost 10 people in here. And the beds are quite comfortable. It's been a long day's work today. Very tired. Almost ready to go home now. But I wanted to show you all this. Man, this looks comfortable. Oh, it's been a long day.
It looks like 3 right lanes now blocked. You can use Highway 41 Metropolitan Parkway or Highway 29 as an alternate. Once again, travel advisory downtown connector 7585 southbound. Highway 166, 3 right lanes blocked. Use Highway 41 or 29 as alternates. This report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. A PCA national nonprofit organization develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at
.529 mic to Sound 51.
Mr. John Miller, you have been charged with breaking the quarantine and leaving your house without the corresponding permit. What do you have to say for yourself?
Your Honor, I am very sorry. I have broken the quarantine, that is true. But I went to the farm, I had things I had to take care of, and I would be very happy to pay a fine because, as you know, I'm a pastor and I have to be in the service on Sunday, and I got many things that I must tend to. It's Mother's Day, and I have to have lunch with my mother and my family. So please, if you'll just tell me what the fine is, I'd be happy to pay it.
According to the statutes of the state of Georgia, requiring the residents to stay in their homes by the law signed by the governor, according to the statute 5139 of the state of Georgia, you are now remanded into custody for a period of 3 days.
When you're up against a struggle that shatters all your dreams, and your hopes have been crushed by Satan's manifested schemes, and you feel the urge within you to submit to earthly fears. Don't let the faith you're standing in seem to disappear when you're up against a struggle that shatters all your dreams.
I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee?
We were a group of women outside the city gate by the river at a place of prayer. Lydia, a dealer in purple cloth from Thyatira, was also there. 2 men came along and started to speak to us and asked to join us in prayer. We later learned that they were Paul and Silas. The Lord opened Lydia's heart to heed Paul's message. She and all the members of her household were baptized. Another day, Paul and Silas were on their way to a place of prayer. They were met by a female slave who had a spirit in her that could predict the future. She earned a lot of money for her owners by fortune-telling. She followed us and shouted at us. This was disrupting, and so Paul ordered the spirit out of her. When her owners realized that their chance of making money was gone, they dragged Paul and Silas to the authorities, and they were put in prison.
At around midnight, these 2 very positive prisoners named Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God. The rest of us were listening to them. Suddenly there was a violent earthquake and the prison shook. All the prison doors flew open and everyone's chains came loose. The jailer woke up, saw all the doors open and drew his sword to kill himself. He thought all the prisoners had escaped, but Paul assured him and shouted that he should not harm himself. The jailer called for lights, rushed in and lay in front of them, trembling. The jailer accepted Jesus Christ and his whole family.
One day, Jesus got into a boat with his disciples and said to them, "Let us go across to the other side of the lake." And as they were sailing, he fell asleep.
Be not afraid. Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. Come. Lord, save me. Without little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? Wilt thou be made whole?
Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me.
Rise. Take up thy bed and walk. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and the recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. Be of good cheer, Paul. For as thou hast testified of me in Jerusalem, so must thou bear witness also at Rome.
I feel wonderful. You know, if you're hearing this message, it's because I was able to get this recording out of the prison in time for Sunday. So if anyone gets a hold of this recording, please contact Peniel Atlanta and try to get it into their hands by Sunday morning. So even though I can't be in church, at least they can hear my voice. You know, I feel so free. It's interesting to say I feel free even though I'm in prison, but I'm free to express to all the world to hear. You know, I never thought a place so terrible could be so beautiful. In the midst of the filth, the stench of prison, it can all be forgotten by the sweet odor of the perfume of Jesus, which is the rose of Sharon. I'm no longer angry at the policeman that arrested me and didn't want to hear my story, didn't want to let me return home. I'm not angry at the judge for taking away my liberty, nor am I angry with myself for being so silly, stupid even, in breaking the law of quarantine of the state of Georgia. What was I thinking? But you know, I'm glad I'm here, because here I came to a close encounter with Jesus. I met Jesus. You know, that might sound so common for a prisoner to say, I found Jesus in prison, but it's true, because Jesus is in jail. He visited me. It's strange to think that Jesus would be in the jail and not in church, isn't it? Didn't he say he came to save those that were lost? And aren't there more lost people in prison than in the church? You know, Jesus became a prisoner in order to set us free. Yes, God shares our quarantine. But though we are locked within the walls and prisoners, no one can stop our voice from traveling throughout the world by the power of communication. Truly, the pen is more powerful than the sword. The Apostle Paul was in prison in Rome, yet it's from there, where he could not move, that he reached out to bless not only his friends and the struggling churches and his fellow prisoners, but to reach out to the whole world way beyond his lifetime. 2,000 years, people are still reading those prison letters. Beautiful, beautiful epistles written by Paul when he was under arrest in Rome in the year 60. They included Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Philemon. No matter if you're in quarantine in your house or in a jail, pick up a pen, pick up a tablet, pick up a phone, and be a blessing, be a lighthouse of hope. And how can we, being in jail, not quit like Paul must have felt like doing it, like I felt like doing it? But he had the power there in his prison to write letters, and we too can influence the world. So I will preach now from my quarantine by any means at my disposal. Jesus is in jail. Yes, what is he doing there? He said, I have come to set free those that are captive. As we heard in the video, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, he said, he read, because he's anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty those that are bruised. In John 8:36, Jesus said, if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. But how can he set us free if he's in jail also? Because he has the keys to every chain, to the handcuffs of sin, the keys to release us from depression, from anger, from frustration, from all the symptoms of cabin fever that we saw a few weeks ago. Oh, how terrible it is. You saw me pacing back and forth in this tiny little room. It's terrible to be in prison. Life jail. You're there because of sin, not circumstances, not what people have done to you, but because of sin. He came to set us free from jail. But you know that jail doesn't end when we die. Death in the grave is not the final eternity. It's only a passageway, like this jail to a grave is a place that all that die must go. Paul said there is a fire. We will all go through that fire. We'll have to give account for our sins, then wait for the final judgment. See, death does not free us from the chains of sin. Never believe the lies of the devil that says, oh, if you just take your life, you'll be free from all your problems. No, you won't. Your problems are waiting for you on the other side. That's what the Apostle Paul wrote to Timothy. In 1 Timothy 5:24, he said, some sins of some men are open here beforehand, before going to judgment, but the sins of others will follow them. So there will be in the grave another prison, a prison that could last for eternity. But we have nothing to fear because Jesus has conquered death and the grave and has the keys to death. And He will be waiting along with His angels when we take our last breath here on earth and enter into the grave. He will be there to lead us out of death. So once again, let me plead for those that are in jail. You were born to be free, not in jail, but you're in the chains of sin. Please, please, come out. Repent. Let Jesus save you and wash you and change your life and lead you out to a real fulfilling life. Lead you and be with you the whole rest of your journey of life, whether it be long or short. And when you leave this earthly abode, you will pass to the other side in faith, in confidence, and not in fear or terror, fearing nothing. For like David said, though I pass through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. For some, death is a terror. For God's children who are saved by the blood of the cross of Jesus, it's a welcome sight to leave this cruel world and the suffering of pain and sickness, the evil of darkness, and to pass to a world of light where there is no suffering or pain. Just eternal bliss and the beautiful gardens of paradise in the New Jerusalem, the beautiful city that God has built will be awaiting for us, and the mansion that He has prepared for us to live in. You know, prisoners captive in their prisons of sin, that's who He came to set free, to open the door of the jail, that jail that produces anger, unlawfulness, bitterness. Do you know that you don't need a judge to set your prison term? You set your own jail term. The devil would have you stay there for your lifetime, tell you there's no way out. There's always a way out. There's no high security prison Jesus can't get you out of. He wants to incarcerate you for eternity. But you know, God has a purpose for you. You were born with a purpose. There's things you're born to be. Don't deny it. You will never be free to fulfill your true talents that God has given you, or to develop the gifts, because you can't do that in jail. You have to be free. Come out. Come out. Where is Jesus? He's right there with you in jail. All you have to do is turn to Him. Turn your heart to Him. Give over your life to Him. Repent, ask forgiveness, seek Him, and you will find Him. Oh, I almost forgot This Sunday is Mother's Day. Oh, I hope I can be there with you. Mothers, I have a message for you. Happy Mother's Day. You know, don't lose your hope, Mother, because Jesus is in jail. No matter what jail, where or how deep the pit, He's in jail. And He will speak to your son. Paul. Yes, He is talking to your children in dreams, in the moments of clarity, or in the midst of their stupor of drugs or alcohol or licentious living. In that fog, Jesus speaks. Jesus is calling. Turn to me and be free. You were born to be free. If you believe, He will give you to be free, to be born again. Oh, what good news the other prisoners related to me. They said that in Georgia, the governor began to start releasing prisoners from the quarantine of their homes. Oh, how lovely it'll be to be free again, be able to start over again, be able to go out, be able to go to Hebron and not worry about the police stopping me. Do you know, but things are going to be different. Nothing's going to be the same anymore. Things are going to change. Don't let your experience with Jesus during this quarantine, don't leave it in your quarantine. Take it with you. When you leave the situation, may everything be different because of Jesus. You know, this is the 8th online meeting we've had. 8 is a number of renewal and of a new day. May you begin a new day, a new relationship with God. Allow Him to lead you in these coming dangerous times, especially in decisions that will need to be made. May He be your guide, and may His word be a lamp to your feet. Because the ruling spiritual power, evil power, ruling during these last times, and that has led us to these times we're living in, is a spirit of lie and deceit. So you'll need to trust as you never have before in Jesus. Trust only in Him, because everything will be lies or half lies or quarter lies. Everything will be deceit. Everything you hear, you see, will not be true. His word is the only true there will be left in the world. Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and lead not unto your own understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. So not only in the scriptures, but in everyday decisions. Isaiah 30:21 says, you'll hear in your ears a word behind you saying, this is the right way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right hand or to the left, you'll hear that. So for you also, it's an opportunity to leave this jail and start over again, to do a reset. I'm sure things are going to change. They're not going to be what they were. So take advantage. When this quarantine begins to stop, you start a new life based on what's happened during the quarantine between you and Jesus. Let Jesus lead you to fulfill your purpose in life. Go out, be free, enjoy life. Truly, He is life, and you were born to be free. What's that noise? Sounds like a telephone ring. There's not supposed to be telephones here in jail. What's up, everybody? What's that? It's a loud sound. It's bothering me. My goodness, what's that sound? Oh, what happened? Where am I? Oh my God. I fell asleep. Oh, someone's calling me. Oh, what a nightmare I had. I dreamt to it. Wait, I'll tell you about it. Let me see who's calling. Let me cut this off a second. Sorry. When I am down, and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come, and my heart burdened be, then I am still, and wait here in the silence, until you come, and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. Lord, raise me up to more